I'm live already. I'm live. Hi everyone. Welcome to another flow class with me, Isabel. And I don't know if you can see him from this angle. I imagine you can. I got Anthony here as well to so you can do a practice, but also just a demo for you. We're gonna do today some side body work. So we'll do some side planks. It's quite nice as well for your lower back, I think. So just to work into those side body a little bit more. If you have a brick, you can grab it. You might not need it. I'm not doing too many postures where we really need it, but it can be there just if you need to sit up a bit higher. Maybe in the beginning we will be sitting cross-legged, so it might be nice to have a bit more height underneath you. We'll do some balancing poses, so maybe you want it just to lengthen your arms a little bit more. We'll do half moon, so it's sometimes nice to have your brick for half moon pose. But it's not essential. If you don't have a brick at home, you can do it without as well. Okay. How are you feeling, Anthony? You ready? Okay, I'm just gonna check because we're also recording it. So whenever ready. Okay. Hi. So let's start. So come to a cross-legged position. And then if you want, you can sit a bit higher up on a brick. But if you're comfortable enough just sitting down to the ground, then you can just do that without a brick. Let's start with just placing our arms on our legs and then close your eyes. Take a moment to bring your focus inwards. And just to feel how you're feeling on this evening. How you're feeling today, at this very moment in time. What sensations are there? Maybe you notice some thoughts that are moving around. Let's start to bring our focus to our breath. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And take a deep exhale out through your nose. And just take your time with setting up that deep breath. So we're going to work into our side bodies today, which is a nice way of not just strengthening the spine a bit and to stabilize the lower back, but also to optimize the breath. So if you now place your hands onto your side ribs, and you can do it in whatever way is comfortable for you, just have your hands on the side. You can also cross your arms so that feels nicer for your shoulders. But feeling your side ribs opening on your inhale, and then contracting on the exhale. And just take a moment really to find that lateral way of breathing. So it's not just like a little up and down, but it's really sideways as well. You might notice if there's any tight spots or places around your back, or sometimes sort of between your ribs. On your inhale, feel your ribs expanding and lifting up and away from your hips. And on your exhale, just pull the belly slightly back. Take that a couple of times. On the inhale, you're telescoping the ribs. And on your exhale, there's just a little bit of contraction, moving the belly back. Now cross your arms over your chest. Bring your hands to the opposite shoulder. Again, take an inhale, expanding ribs and lift up. And then exhale, start to tilt towards your right side. If you have your eyes open and you're watching the video, I am mirroring you here. We are moving to the right side, so we're opening the left side of the ribs. Keep your shoulders just nice and soft, keep the neck soft. And then with your breath, just keep exploring the space that you have available there in your side body, in the side ribs. And on your inhale, lift all the way back up. Just feel the head being back placed on top of your tailbone. And then on your exhale, you're leaning to the left side. And we're opening the right side of the ribs. Take a couple of deep breaths into your side ribs. Maybe you can Create a bit more space between the individual ribs there. Maybe even between those lower ribs and your hips. And inhale, come all the way back up. To sitting, open your eyes, release your arms. We're going to change position, come to Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together and spread your toes. Get those feet really nice and active, so you really feel the sense of grounding, and we're using all the muscles in the legs. Again, I'll mirror this. So send your right hand out to the side. Inhale, lift your ribs up and away from your hips. And then exhale, lean that little bit more into your right hand. So we're moving again to the right side. Send your left arm all the way up by your left ear. So reaching that left arm all the way up and away from your left hip. It might even feel nice to let that shoulder blade slide all the way up the back, up the rib cage towards your ear. So you're actually stretching a little bit into those lats there, into the back muscles. Keep neck soft, keep jaw soft. So we're going for finding a bit more ease here in our side bends. Now you can use the hand that's down to the ground, your right hand, to push down and to lift the chest up a bit more. So we want to keep feeling that space in our core and our side body. Send your left hand out towards the left side, so you're creating a stretch to the left side of the neck. Reach the hand as far out to the side as you can, whilst you let your head still tip towards the right side. Then inhale, lift all the way back up. Bring your head back on top of your spine, and we'll go straight away to the other side. Place your left hand down, lean into your left hand, and then inhale, send your right arm all the way up by your right ear. Rotate your palm so it's facing away the center line, if you think of a line all the way from your spine and further out to the crown of the head. So you're wrapping your shoulder. And let that shoulder blade slide all the way up to your ear. So it gives you a nice little bit of a stretch there for the back. Keep feet active. I'm going to change that arm. So now we're going to send the right arm out to the right side, creating a stretch for the neck. Maybe just lift the ribs and the chest up a bit more. So it deepens that stretch in the neck. Reach with that right arm to bring the head all the way back up. Bring your legs together and then come to a downward facing dog. So if you move your hips up and back and just spread your hands for a moment, have just a little bit of a walk around, a bit of a move around, just to get into your body. You might have done already many downward dogs today, but if this is the first one of today, it's quite nice just to sort of feel your way into it. It can be quite a challenging pose, actually, downward dog, and in flow classes, we are there a lot. We're almost using it as a resting pose, actually. So just move a little bit into your joints, your knees, your hips. And then if you bend your knees, give them a really good bend. And then press your hands down to the floor. Try and move your hips really high up, as high as you can. Then send them as far back as you can. And then keep your neck relaxed. Now you can start to reach the heels a little bit more down. Now they might hover above the ground, and that's absolutely fine. It might even be that you need to keep the knees a bit bent there. Might be that the heels can reach down to the floor a bit more. Spread through your toes, spread through your fingers. And just feel that breath, again, opening into those side ribs. And on your inhale, you're going to lift the heels and roll forward into your plank. Bring your shoulders all the way over your wrist. And now from here, we're going to let the heels lean over to the right side. Let the heels drop to the right side. And you can let your right hip drop a little bit. And maybe the left hand is just sort of hovering above the floor. Now the left hand's going to come back down, and then inhale back into your plank. Just see if you can find that length through your spine again. Exhale, heels go over to the left. Let your left hip just sink a bit, but keep pressing into your left hand, and your right hand can just come up off the floor. Inhale back into plank. We're going to do that again. Exhale, heels to the right. Drop the right hip, left hand just hovering above the floor. Inhale, find plank. Exhale, let your heels go to the left. Left hip drops. Maybe your right fingertips just up. Inhale, finding plank. Exhale, let your heels roll to the right side. Now here we're going to lift the left hand all the way up. And this time you can keep your right hip a little bit lifted as well. So you're pressing a bit more into your right hand. And you feel the right side of your ribs lifting upwards as much as you can. Bring your left hand down, finding plank. Inhale. Exhale, heels towards the left. Send your right arm all the way up. We're in a full side plank here. Now keep feeling that lift from underneath. Keep feeling that length through your spine. Gonna bring the right hand down to the floor, come back to plank. Heels go to the right side, left arm reaches up. Now see if you can pick your bottom leg, which will be your right leg, up off the floor. Probably should face the other side for this. So you're gonna lift your right leg up off the floor. You might need to just keep the knee bent. You might be able to lengthen it all the way out for that little bit more oomph into your side plank today. Right, now from here we're gonna bring that right foot back down. We're gonna bring the left hand down to the ground, finding plank. Now your heels move to the left side. And you're gonna lift your right leg, the top leg again, all the way up. So your top leg lifts up. Maybe the right arm reaches up to the ceiling. Now here your right hand's gonna grab your right leg, and you're gonna reach the right foot as far forward as you can. You're gonna place it into a lunge position, so as far forward as you can. Bring your left knee down to the floor, and then keep your toes of your back foot tucked under. Inhale, lifting up with your torso, and send the arms all the way up as well. Find that wrap of your shoulders, so the outer armpits wrap around. And again, just spend some time breathing into those side ribs. It's quite nice, just as a way of really maximizing that breath capacity. As well as giving you that support. So there's the serratus anterior there, which is quite a nice way of finding a bit more stability for the shoulders there to lift them up. Right. Then from here, your right hand's gonna grab the left wrist. Inhale, lift up as high as you can. And then exhale, you're gonna pull the left hand across towards the right side. So you're getting that side bend there into your lunge. At the same time, keep pressing down through your right foot. And a little squeeze into your bottom. So you feel the muscles around your left sitting bone squeezing and engaging. Keep pressing that right foot down. Then we're going to bring the left hand to the outside of your right leg, so your right thigh. Now push into your thigh. You're going to push the thigh back into your hand. Then send your right arm back into a twisting lunge. Now the most important thing here is to find that little squeezing action of your left hand and your right thigh, squeezing together. And you feel a bit of engagement there into your side body. By that squeezing action, allowing the chest to open and to reach back. Now from here we can stay here, or we can bring our right hand onto our lower back of the hips, lift the chest up, little arch, or you can reach it back and maybe place it onto your back leg, so that will be your left leg. And maybe even we want to bring the left arm all the way up. So a couple of different options there. Keep pressing down through your right foot. Inhale, lift back up. Then place your hands down to the floor. Let's step into plank. Take a deep inhale into your plank. Move shoulders forward. Option of knees down. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Elbows squeezing into lower. Inhale, dragging the ribs forward for a cobra. Rolling your shoulders back. Activating through your legs. Exhale, moving back. Downward facing dog. Take a moment just to fold the hips as far back as you can. Get that wrap of your shoulders. Can you get the feet really active as well? So it really feels like you can ground down through your legs. Very energized legs. Then inhale, roll back forward into your plank. Shoulders over your wrists. I'm going to watch Anthony do this. Great, so we're going to straight away move to the other side. So if you now let your heels move to the left side. Heels move to the left side, that's it. So you're gonna peel your right arm up. Okay, I'll do it with you, Anthony. Heels to the left, right arm all the way up. Great, now you're gonna lift your bottom leg first. So your left leg is gonna lift up. Your bottom leg into the side plank. Heels have moved to the left side. Your right arm is up, left leg is up. Maybe you can lengthen it out. Bit more energy through the legs. Okay, right hand comes down. Now you're gonna bring yourself to the other side. So now the heels move to the right. And again, your left leg is gonna lift up, which will be now your top leg. Hope I'm not confusing you at home there. So your left leg is up. Now with your left hand, you're gonna grab your left leg and you're gonna place it as far forward to the front of the mat as you can. You'll be in a lunge with your left leg in front. If it all messed up, just come to this pace. Great, tuck the back toes under and then lift up into your lunge. Now get really grounded here. Press your left foot down to the floor. Feel that space there in your side ribs again. Feel that wrapping of the shoulders. Now from here, your left hand is going to grab your right wrist And you're gonna pull the right hand over to the left side. So you feel this opening to the right side of your, so in the left side of your ribs. Are you mirroring there? Yeah, I see. Good. So you're opening the right side of the body. Keep pressing down through your left foot. A little squeeze there in your right buttock. Bring your right hand to the outside of your left thigh and then press the two together. So you really feel that engagement there. You feel already that it moves you into a twist. Left arm back. Right. Keep pressing the thigh into the hand back into the thigh. Find that resistance, and you can even lean back a bit more. Reach your left arm a bit further back in space. Here are your options for that back bend, that arch. Left hand can go into the back of the hips, and you could just lift the chest up a bit more. Maybe the right arm wants to go up. Maybe the left hand can reach back. And then place it on your back leg, your right leg. Keep feeling that sense of opening and expanding in space. Keep pressing your front leg down into the floor. Now on your inhale, push down, lift up. Bring your hands down to the floor. We're going to step forward into our forward fold. Maybe have your feet hip-width apart. Bend your knees a bit. And just take a moment there to be all ragdolly. Let your head relax. Allow your spine just to hang. And just to feel gravity moving through your body. Maybe it's quite nice to take a big sigh out on your exhale. Just to really let go here. Maybe you've done a lot of work behind the computer, behind the desk. It's quite nice just to let it all drop a little bit. Letting go in the neck and the head. And let's slowly roll all the way up to standing. Vertebrae by vertebrae. And whilst you're rolling up, can you actively push down through your feet? So it supports your spine with the rolling up action. Then come to the front of your mat and bring your feet together. Any lower back issues, any issues around your sacrum, take the position wider. Take a deep inhale, send your arms all the way up above your head. Lengthen the ribs away from the hips. Exhale, folding forward, pull belly back. Take an inhale, come halfway up, scooping the chest forward. Exhale, hands down, step back into plank, shoulders over wrist. Chaturanga has always the option to lower the knees. Take an inhale, cobra or upward dog, maybe lifting the thighs up for upward dog. Exhale, moving back, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, move your hips further back. Breathing in. And take a deep breath out. Relax the neck. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or hop the feet forward. Halfway up. Hands can also slide onto your legs if you want. Exhale, deepen your forward fold. Inhale, send your arms up, reach up. Press down through your feet. Exhale, dive back forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Scoop the chest forward. Exhale, hands down. Step or float the feet back through plank. Chaturanga. Elbows squeezing in, chest moving forward. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Take a deep exhale. Feel the top of your thighs moving back. Keep that deep breath going. Then can you feel your forearms hugging in towards each other? Almost like there's two little magnets on the inside of your forearms, inside of your wrist. And they're being pulled towards each other. So you really feel that engagement there through your arms. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump the feet forward, halfway up. Exhale, deepening your forward fold. Inhale, send your arms up, reach up. Exhale, diving back forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or jump the feet back through plank. Chaturanga, elbows squeezing in, chest moves forward. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. Now you're gonna lift the right leg all the way up and back into a three-legged dog. And you can feel for yourself if you want to have it maybe a bit more lower and then actually feel that you can reach it back a lot more. Or maybe you want to open that right hip a little bit. That can be your choice. See how that feels for your hips and also for the stability there around your shoulders. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, bring your right knee towards your left armpit. See if you can scratch your left armpit with your knee. Inhale, send it all the way back and up. Exhale, right knee towards your left armpit. And then inhale, send it all the way back up. Last time. Exhale, right knee towards your left armpit. Then inhale all the way back up. Exhale, this time your right knee in towards your chest. And you're going to step your right foot between your hands. So you're going to come forward, place the foot down. Left heel down to the floor. Warrior 2. So finding your way to come up into your warrior 2. Bend your right knee. Let your right sitting bone drop down and underneath. Now feel your middle finger, or both middle fingers, reaching away from each other. So you really get that spreading action out to the side. Then use that feeling of spreading outwards to soften your shoulders and to soften those trapezius muscles that run from the shoulders to the ears, back of the skull. So you really have that feeling of space there around the shoulder blades. Then cross your arms over your chest. Place your hands on the opposite shoulders. Take an inhale, lift the ribs up. And then exhale, rounding the spine forward a little bit. So taking a bit of a curve, letting the head drop down. Great, now from here we're going to roll the upper body towards the back. So towards the left leg, the back leg. Keep sending your right thigh forward. So you still want to find that opposition there. Right thigh moving forward. Whilst the head leans away from your hips to the back of the room, to the back of the mat. Great, now we're going to support it with our hands. So if you bring your left hand down to your left thigh, or maybe even the lower leg. And you can send your right arm all the way up. Now keep using your arm, especially the left arm, to find a bit more space into the left side of the body. So we're not just completely slouching there. Breathe into your side ribs. Feel that space between the individual ribs. Feel your little finger energizing your right little finger and reaching away from your armpits. Keep leaning back. Now you're going to send your right arm forward towards your right knee. And then inhale, lift the upper body all the way back up. Now place your right forearm down top of your right thigh. Parsvakonasana, or side angle pose. Left arm reaches out near your left ear. And again, wrap your left shoulder. So you get that nice little bit of lift. Get that space around your shoulder. And a bit more of a stretch out for the back muscles. Press down with your right forearm. If you want to deepen it, you can. The right hand can drop down to the inside of your right foot. You can also hover it somewhere in between, so you get a bit more action there for your abdominals. You can press your upper body a little bit into that right leg, so it feels like you're rolling over. Now look out in front of your right foot, moving into half moon. Left hand onto your left hip. Reach forward. You might need your block for this. So you're going to reach forward, bring your weight into your right foot, and your right hand. Roll the left hip on top of the right hip. And then if you can, option 2, left arm all the way up. Maybe there's an option 3 there with a bind. Bend your left knee. And then grab your foot with your left hand. Keep feeling that you can open there, all the way into the left side of the body. Might even be that you want to release that drishti away from the floor. Drishti is gaze. And you can take it up a bit more. Just play with that balance. Challenge yourself a little bit. It doesn't need to be a perfect balance. That's boring. It's okay to wobble and then to refine that stability. Release the left leg. And then come back to a warrior 2. So see if you can move your left leg back. Find your way back into your warrior 2. Inhale. Exhale, windmill your arms over your head. Find plank. Chaturanga. Inhale. Cobra or upward dog. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. Send your left leg up and back. Again, you can decide the height for yourself. It's more that we want to have a reach back. We want to maintain a stability around the shoulders, so we're not dropping into one shoulder. And then on your exhale, bring left knee towards right armpit. So we're going to go under, a little twist, and then reach for your armpit. Inhale, send it back up. Exhale, left knee, right armpit, twist it under. Inhale, push it back up, three-legged dog. Last time, exhale, left knee, right armpit. Inhale, send it back up. Then on your exhale, you're going to bring your left knee into your chest and step it as far forward as you can. Might even be that you need to give a little shove there with your hand. Right heel down. Come all the way up. Warrior two. Again, feel your fingers reaching away. Feel both sitting bones reaching down. It might even be nice to lift that left hip slightly up, so we're tipping forward a bit. Or just to experiment a little bit with where your weight is. Then cross your arms over your chest again. Keep the stability of your legs, so keep those strong legs grounded. Inhale. Exhale, start to curve. Moving the chin towards your chest. Just let your head drop down. Maybe breathing into the back of your ribs, the back body there. Now keep sending your left thigh forward. Then we're going to lean back with the upper body. So the upper body spirals back. You feel your head reaching away from your hips towards the back of the mat. This time the same direction as your right leg. Maybe you can feel that just with your abdominals and with your breath, you can lift the ribs a bit further away from your hips. Now use your hands to find a bit more stability there. Right hand onto your right leg, upper leg, lower leg, left arm reaches back. Wrap your left shoulder. Keep feeling the left thigh moving forward. With your right hand, press down to find a bit more lift. Left arm reaches to the front. And an inhale, come back up. Parsvakonasana, left forearm down on top of the left thigh. Right arm reaches up and over. You can make it harder on yourself if you want. Left hand down. You got your brick maybe near. Place your left hand onto your brick. Or you can hover somewhere in between. And you feel a little bit more work coming from your core there to keep you up. Press down to your right foot. Then feel that space in the right side of the ribs. Exhale, look down towards your left foot. Moving towards your half moon balance. Right hand can come to the right hip. Then lean forward. Bring your left hand out in front of your left foot. Might be that you need to place your brick underneath your left hand there. So you have that bit more space. See how that feels. A little soft bend in your standing leg, and then press the forecorners of the foot down to the floor. Maybe the right arm wants to come up, or if you want, you can bind. You can even play with just letting go of that drishti and just take it more inwards. If you feel that the balance is really challenging today, it will be different every day. You might need to focus on a point, just to help you get more steady. And from there, release your bind. If you're binding, reach your right leg back. Find your warrior two. Inhale into your warrior two. Exhale, windmill your arms over your head. Finding plank, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra per dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. You're going to walk the feet all the way forward towards the hands. And then from there, take an inhale, come halfway up, scooping chest forward. Exhale, deepening your forward fold. Inhale, send your arms all the way up, reaching up. Exhale, hands down by your side. Great, so let's step the right foot back. So we're facing the long side of the mat. If you need to be at a better place to see me, then of course, step to the other side. But we're facing the long side of the mat. Place the hands onto your hips, and an inhale, just lift your rib cage up and away from your hips. Press down through your feet. Keep that length in your waist. Now send your arms up. Interlink your fingers, and then have your index finger pointing up there. Take a huge inhale to lift, and on your exhale, again I'll mirror this, we're going to go to the right. So you're going to lean towards the right, open the left side of the ribs. Press down through your feet, get your feet really active. We're just going to stay here and just challenge, work into those side muscles, which maybe in the beginning often seems easier than it is. But once you're here for 30 seconds, it gets a hell of a lot harder to maintain this. So you might feel that you start to shake a little bit, muscles start to work a bit more. Keep pressing down as much as you can. Keep feeling the rib cage lifting up. So keep finding that space between your hips and your ribs. If you feel that it gets really, really tough, you can just take a little centimeter back up, but see if you can just maintain that side bend. If you feel it's really easy, you're welcome to go a bit further. We're almost there. Keep the breath going and try and keep it as steady as you can. So not straining the breath. And then inhale, lift back up. Oh, a bit of shuddering there. And then from there, just place your hands onto your hips, so to the other side, and just a little bit. Take an inhale, lift your chest up. And then exhale, just fold forward. Bring your hands down. And you might need to bring the heels and the toes a little bit closer towards each other. We're gonna come to a flank stretch. So we're stretching the side of the body. So if you would fold forward, so the belly wants to direct itself between the legs. Then, again, I'll try and mirror this. So we're gonna go towards our right leg. Left hand places itself onto the right leg. And it could be the shin, it could be the ankle, whatever is easy for you to grab. Remember, you can always heel toe the feet closer in. Place your right hand on the outside of your right foot, or if that's hard to reach, just bring it on the outside of the right leg. Now we're going to fold again, belly moves between the thighs. We're going to open the left side of the ribs. And we'll do that by grabbing hold of our right leg and then dragging the side ribs to the other leg, so to the left leg. So you feel your left side of your back, left side of the ribs, dragging across towards your left leg. Keep hold of your right leg. That's what creates that stretch. Now if your hand is down onto the floor, your right hand, you can push the right hand into the ground to get a little bit more across with the back body. You might feel that that deepens that side stretch a bit more. And from there, slowly release. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Take an inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, hands onto your hips. Inhale, lift all the way back up to standing. I'm stuck with my wire. Send your arms back up above your head. Interlink your fingers. Now we usually have one grip that we prefer and that we automatically do. Change it for your unhabitual grip. So just go one across of the one that you usually do. It will feel a bit strange, but you'll survive. Send your arms all the way up. Press down to your feet. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. This time we move to the left. We open the right side of your ribs. And again, we're going to hold this for about 30 seconds. I gotta watch here so I can see how long we can maintain this. Keep pressing down through your feet. We often in flow move quite quickly through things, so it's quite nice to now and then just stay and just to challenge ourselves in different ways. You might feel that you want to deepen by sending your upper body a little bit further over to the left side. Pressing your feet down. Notice where you feel those little shuddering moments there. Maybe you can breathe into those areas. And inhale, lift all the way back up. Just feel if you're a bit more even now on both sides. Hands onto your hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands down. We're going to go to our flank stretch on our other side. This time, the hands move towards the left leg. Our right hand grabs the left leg. And our left hand can either go on the outside of the left foot. You can also place it just on the outside of the left leg. Whatever is easier there. And then we could just fold the belly between the thighs. So there's no twisting. It's more a sideways motion. Breathe into the right side of your ribs and then drag the right side of the ribs across towards your right leg. So the right side of the ribs want to move across. You keep holding on to your left leg there, and that's what creates that stretch all the way across the body, especially into that left side of the body. If your left hand is down to the ground, you can push it into the ground a bit more to get a little bit further across. Keep breath steady and feel where you want it to move to. You can decide that by just bringing your attention there. And from there, slowly release. Bring your hands back down, out in front of your shoulders. Inhale, just lift your chest a bit. And exhale, heel toe your feet a little bit closer in. Have the feet still wider than your hips. So still a bit wider than your hips. Now we're going to bend the knees and sink the hips down. Keep your heels down to the floor. And then from there, option one is to place your forearms onto your thighs. And then we'll stay here. So it's quite a nice way of strengthening into your legs, as well as to get the hips to open a bit more. So you can use your forearms to move the thighs a little bit wider. So feel free to stay here. It's a nice way of practicing that opening of your hips there. If you want, we can take this into arm balance called Titibasana. So the hands go down and they walk between the legs, as far down between the legs as you can. It might be that at some point you will stop, obviously. The belly has to go through the thighs there. And then you can just, with your hands, grab the back of the heels and I'll move out to the side in a funny way so you can just see that. I'm pinning with my hands the back of my heels and then I'm going to pin them down to the ground. If you imagine that you have these like big heels on or these pointy things underneath your heels, you can drag those down. Then you squeeze your arms into your legs and your legs back into your arms, a bit like a tweezer. You can stay here, or hands can go a little bit further back. You need to be able to bring the heels down, and sometimes the angle feels a bit complicated for people's arms. But if you can bring your palms down, then you can sit your legs down onto your upper arms. So your upper arms are your ledge. And then we can lift the feet up. And maybe just with the knees bent, maybe you can start to lengthen your legs out. Again, tweeze your arms into your legs and your legs back into your arms. Now, if you want, if you feel quite steady there, you can even play with bending the elbows a little bit more, sinking, and then inhale, lifting up. Lengthening the arms. Exhale to sink. Inhale, lifting up. So you got your Titibasana push-ups. Just to challenge you in this side position body practice. We're going to bring the feet back down. And then slowly find your way back onto your feet. Release your hands. Oh, I got really hot there from doing that. If you're joining us in any of these positions, just slowly release and come to your forward fold. Heel toe the feet back underneath your hips. And then inhale, come all the way back up to standing. Just roll up. Take a moment to place the head back on top of the hips. After hanging for that long forward, so let the blood tip back the other way. Step to the front of the mat. Find that steady breath. Take a deep inhale, send your arms up above your head. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or jump the feet back through plank. Chaturanga, elbow squeezing in. Inhale, cobra, upward dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot all the way forward into a lunge. Interlink the fingers behind your back. Lift your chest just up off your front leg. And then keep moving the heart forward whilst you're sending your hands back. So just a way to engage the legs really. Keep moving the heart forward. Little squeeze there of your shoulder blades. Then from there, release your hands. Bring your left hand down to the floor. Easy twisting lunge. So you're going to send your right arm up and then roll away from your right thigh. So you feel the belly moving away from the right thigh. You feel the right side of the ribs rolling back and your chest rolling back. Breathing into the right side of your chest. Just there where the chest starts to meet the right shoulder. Bring your left knee down to the floor. Right hand to the right thigh. Inhale, send the left arm all the way up. Exhale, deepening that twist. Left elbow over your right thigh. Now I like to make a fist with my left hand. Feels nicer for my wrist. And then the right hand can be onto the left hand. Inhale, scoop the ribs away from the hips. Exhale, roll back. Roll your right shoulder back. Maybe you want to make it a bit stronger for your legs by lifting that back knee up, reaching back with your back heel. Maybe you want to explore a bit more balance, so you can maybe look down out in front of your right foot and just see if you can pick the left foot up. Sometimes some shaking there, or weird kind of sway, but it's quite nice when you do find a balance there. Bring the foot back down, bring your hands down, and then step back into plank. Take a deep inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward between your hands. If you need to, a couple of steps to get there. Interlink the fingers behind your back. Lift the chest just up, above your thigh, and then reach forward again. So we want to create a little bit of space there between the belly and the thigh. But keep moving the left thigh forward. Keep reaching your right heel back. And then actually, whilst you're moving the thighs away from each other, so you can just squeeze your feet towards each other. Gives that nice little bit of engagement there in your inner thighs. Release your hands, right hand down, easy twisting lunge. Left arm reaches up, Roll your left shoulder back. Feel the belly peeling away from your left thigh. It's quite a nice opportunity to breathe actually into the front of the body. Belly, ribs, chest. When you exhale, bring your right knee down. Left hand onto your left thigh. Inhale, send the right arm up. Exhale, twist towards your left. Right elbow hooks over your left thigh. Left hand to the right. Again, you can make a fist with your right hand there. Inhale, scoop the ribs away from your hips. Exhale, roll your left shoulder back. And again, your option if you want, make it stronger, extend the back leg. Or if you want to play around with your balance, move the weight forward, keep the fold into your left hip, and see if you can lift the right leg up. Keep twisting the chest towards the left side. Might be that you need to tap the foot down. Bring it back down, bring your hands down. And then from here, step straight back into a downward facing dog. Hips move away from the shoulders. Then bring your knees down to the floor. And then come through a child's pose. Move the hips back towards your heels. And then just use your hands to bring your head back up vertically. So you just bring your head above your tailbone. And then lean your hips out to the side. Send your legs out in front of you. And we're going to come to a straddle here. So if you open your legs out to the side, and it might be, if it feels a bit more comfortable for your heels, that you can maybe use the long side of the mat. If you're comfortable enough just on the floor where you are, then stay where you are. We're opening the legs in a bit of a V position. Hands out in front. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, just gently walk your hands forward. It might be for some people that you need to bend your knees a little bit. Also, the legs can come further in. So we're just going to allow ourselves to stay here in our stretch for that little bit longer. Maybe forearms down. For some people, you might even bring the head down to the ground. But again, just use this as a way of checking in where your body's at here. What's going on? Where do you feel there's a bit of tightness? Where are the restrictions? Just inquire there, with your breath, with your attention. You can breathe a bit more into your side body. Use your hands to slowly lift your chest back up. Bring the head back on top of the tailbone. Move your legs together. And then from here, bend your knees so the feet are down to the ground. Make sure you have enough space behind you. You're not landing your head on a vase. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, hinging back. And then from there, little rounding of the back to roll all the way down. Let your arms relax down by your side. And just walk your feet in a little bit. Might be nice just to windscreen wipe your legs from side to side here. Keep the neck nice and soft. Right, so we've got a couple of different options here. We can move into our shoulder stand. I couldn't find a word there for a moment. So shoulder stand. If you're used to doing shoulder stand, then I'm going to give you some time to enter it. I'm going to show a variation of shoulder stand. So if you want to take a little bit more of a twist in your shoulder stand, this one is called Windblown Cypress. And it's quite a nice way of just getting a little bit more into our side body and getting a little bit more in a... I always feel like it's a stretch for my hip flexors and my psoas a little bit. There's different ways of entering that. So you can do shoulder stand. If you have any problems with neck or shoulders, what you could do is just place a block or a blanket underneath your hips and just have your legs up there. And maybe you want to place a sock around your feet or a strap if you have. And then you could just keep your feet up that way. Or find a wall and just let your legs rest against the wall. So for those that want to join me for Windblown Cypress, it comes from a shoulder stand. So you're going to bring your arms down, send your feet over your head, so the hips lift up. I'll just move my ponytail away. Great. Now, my hands are going to go on my lower back, and then I'm just going to move my weight slightly back so it falls into my hands. My hips stay slightly piked. Now I'm going to move my hips towards the right side, so a little bit of a twist with my hips. Keep the head and the neck where it is. I'm moving my right hand to the center of my lower back. So I'm actually trying to find my sacrum, which is that triangular bone there, just where your lower back meets the hips. And then actually my left hand can just relax, because I could just use my right hand there in the center.
I want to keep pushing slightly with my hand against my hips, so I'm not folding into my wrist too much. You can stay here already. This is already a really nice place just to stay. You might feel that you want to lengthen that left leg out and away. So now you have your right leg reaching over to your left shoulder, and your left leg reaches away. You might feel a bit of a stretch there into the left side of your belly, left side of the hip. Take a couple more deep breaths. You might feel that if you're in a normal shoulder stand, that you can stay there for another 5 or 6 breaths. If you're wind-blown side press, slowly bring your legs back together. You're gonna move your hips back to center, and we'll move them to the left side. Now, my left hand wants to move just behind my sacrum, so the left hand again just goes behind the lower back and sacrum, so my right hand is free. Then from there, I can lengthen my right leg away, and my left, maybe my right hand can even grab my left leg. If it's near, why not? Make sure that you keep pressing your left hand into your sacrum though. And then slowly come back to center. Send the feet over the head. If you're coming from a shoulder stand, find plow pose as well. If you're with your legs up against the wall, stay there for a bit longer. It's quite a nice, luxurious place just to rest. Bend your knees, and then slowly rolling out, rolling back down onto the ground. Take your time to release your legs. You might want to do that with bending the knees, and then slowly bring the feet down to the floor. I've gone off a different trail there to come down. Great, so again, bend your knees and just allow your body to rest here onto the floor, and just check in there with your lower back, how it feels for your neck, your shoulders. You might need to adjust a little bit just to feel a bit more comfortable. If you need to mobilize your spine, maybe just let your legs move from side to side, or even hug them in and move them from side to side. Just easing into the lower back there. And then from there, when you're ready, slowly lengthen the legs out, and we'll come to Shavasana here. Moving props out of the way. So you just allow yourself to relax. Bit of space between your legs, bit of space between your arms and the rest of your body. Closing your eyes. From all that effort, from all that engagement, that power, that fire, start to find a different end of the spectrum. Just allow yourself to be soft, to not have to try, to not have to achieve anything here. For there is no goal. Just allow yourself to experience that feeling of letting go, that feeling of relaxing. Maybe you feel that slowly, bit by bit, you can sink down even more so. Feeling that the body gets heavier and heavier. And then maybe you can sink deeper and deeper down to the surface below you. Maybe even imagining like leaving a little stump, leaving an imprint onto the ground. You're welcome to stay here for longer if you have some more time. If you'd like to finish up here, then slowly move your fingers, move your toes, just to gently wake the body up. And then roll towards the side. Keep the neck nice and soft. And use your hands to slowly come back up to sitting. Just keep your eyes closed for a little bit longer, just whilst you're finding your seat again. Steady, comfortable, joyful seat. Feel both sitting bones pushing down. Feel that length in your side body to support your spine. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. And with consciousness, open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.